Everywhere Alejandra goes, she's followed by an unwelcome companion, fear.
I felt fear, so much so that I didn't leave my house to work for 3 days. I have a 5-year-old son, and since they were picking up a lot of farm workers, I thought if I encounter that, what about my son?
Alejandra is an undocumented farm worker, tending the vibrant fruit fields that fill California's Central Valley. She's working to support her 5-year-old son, a U.S. citizen. She asked we conceal her identity.
What has the community been like since the election? How much fear is there for everybody?
A bit nervous, because the truth is that everything President Donald Trump was saying in his campaign against us immigrants wasn't positive at all. I am still scared of what he can do against us immigrants.
Shortly after the election, the ACLU says immigration officials detained and deported about 200 farm workers here. The Trump administration says the raids are necessary and cost-effective, arguing that a surge in illegal immigration enabled by the previous administration is siphoning dollars in essential services from American citizens, while state and local budgets grow increasingly strained.
This is America's food basket. The crops that are produced here wind up in grocery stores across the country. So despite the level of anxiety that we've seen here, workers still need to come in. Fear doesn't pay the bills.
Suddenly, workers once deemed essential now feel expendable. Alejandra says her friends and coworkers were so scared, many refused to leave the farm.
There were a lot of people that opted to sleep in the fields because of fear they might encounter Border Patrol.
Farm workers in California grow about 1/3 of the country's vegetables and 3/4 of its fruits and nuts. According to the U.S. Agriculture Department, undocumented and unauthorized workers make up nearly 50% of the total farm labor nationwide, in California generating almost $60 billion a year. We reached out to several farmers in the area, many refusing to comment for fear of retribution, others too worried about their workers. One family-owned farmer told us people are definitely on edge all the time. If there is a reduction of workforce, it could have a long-term impact on what we're doing here.
They're the backbone of agriculture in our country. Nobody is going to be able to do what they do.
This week, thousands of United Farm Workers and other union members gathered in support of the laborers. Teresa Romero is the United Farm Workers president. The UFW is suing DHS and Border Patrol in response to the raids on farm workers.
The ones that are here don't want to give up, want to continue fighting.
In the crowd, we found Loris, who says the fear won't stop her.
The work that we do is very important because we feed this country.
For Alejandra, despite everything, she says she still loves the work, the fields, the fruit, the soil, and the fact that she can feed her little boy.
It's for him that I risk going to work, to give him a life worthy of him. Yes, it's for him, and he's also the reason why I'm in this country.
Pride in an ever-essential task, putting food on the tables of millions of American souls, even those that want her gone.
Yeah, feeding her little boy and feeding the rest of us as well. Steve Patterson joins us here in the studio. Steve, what else did you see out there on the farms?
You know, obviously there's that huge sense of fear that community is going through, but also a sense of betrayal. At that rally, a lot of the workers were telling me that not too long ago, they were treated as essential workers during COVID. When they got pulled over, there was like a placard that said, you can't mess with us because you need us in the fields, essentially. To go from that to this, I think a lot of people see that as a big betrayal. Also, just talking to another gentleman I spoke to in the crowd in his 60s, was documented. And because he is documented, he's not only working the fields, but he's doing grocery shopping. He's running errands for workers who are too scared, literally, to do anything to go from, besides going from home to work. So, I mean, just that sense of what's going to happen next permeating through that community.
And as I understand it, lots of lawsuits filed, right?
Yeah, obviously, you heard the one there, the ACLU also filing suit. It's still very early in sort of what's happening with the legal action. They're alleging Fourth Amendment rights were trampled on, that people were arrested essentially coming from work just because of how they looked. That's all part of the allegations in the lawsuit. I think they're trying to restore a sense of normality back to that community, but it's going to be a long road.
Steve Patterson, fascinating reporting. Thank you for that.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the NBC News app or follow us on social media.